You were the the creme de la creme when it comes to the vocals. Okay, so now you have this accident. God saves you. You're back at home with mom. You're reprocessing. You're reflecting. God is reminding you. So now talk to us about that transition from hip hop, because there were some things going on with that career that transitioned you with where you are now. So let's talk about that transitional piece.
Oh man, just being a mom's, I learned to fast again. I learned to get into God's face again, and God wouldn't allow me to just do the fasting like people do. They still able to eat, go on the Daniel fast. He was like, nah, I need more out of you. So he would, he got my feet wet with 3 days, nothing but water and Jesus, nothing but water and prayer, nothing but water.
And water is the word.
On the shoulder. Listen, so when I believe I was 3 straight 3-day fasts. I come off for 3 days, then he'll send me on a 10-day, then 14, then 30.
It was purging.
And trust me, it was coming out. So, after that, I had promised God, look, whatever you want me to do, I'm in. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't take no...
that surrender.
I wouldn't take no R&B gigs. And in the process...
And they were calling you.
Hold on. I didn't even have no records out at that time. And I was getting gigs like I was current. And it was only the enemy, because I promised God...
Trying to keep you preoccupied.
And every gig I turned down, he blessed me in another area of my life. And it wasn't monetary. It was always something that my past life had hanging over my head. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So he would get rid of it and get rid of it and get rid of it. And my countenance began to change. And the way I seen life and the way I seen him.
Because you know what? I'm looking at your skin right now. Mm-hmm. Just everything about you, like you're glowing right now. And we got some brothers and sisters that's in the industry that are at the crib struggling, trying to find their way in the dark.
Jesus. I'm going to tell you, and God is now sending me back to those people. And it's so crazy. I can tell you, Anthony Hamilton really...
That's a bad boy.
Sets it up.
He's like a catalyst between...
Let me tell you something, because I was like, I told God, I had gotten the word, and I was like, God, I'm not going back, and God sent somebody to me and told me, no, that's not what I told you. I told you, let me get you right first, because I need you to go get some people.
You got to.
So I went and sat in Anthony Hamilton, me and him like this, sat in his concert.
We got to get him too.
Never seen him in concert until that day. God showed me how I was supposed to do it. Anthony will be in concert, and in the twinkling of an eye, he will flip the church, and you don't even know you in.
Yeah, you going to church with Anthony. Straight from an R&B song.
And then when he finished, he got the whole 8,000 people bumping, and they don't even know it, with liquor in their hand.
With liquor in their hand.
God was like, see, I brought you here to show you this is how I'm going to get him.
Right, because I saw him in Atlanta, and that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what it was like. The place was packed. He sang a ballad, and then he talked about Jesus, and they was throwing him back. And before people were crying. It was like all he had to do was do an altar call.
And it's funny you say that, because in his earlier show, when he was just building himself, he would do altar calls. You know what I mean? So it was. Hey,
Mr. Morris.
Oh Lord! So God was showing me how he.
You got to go perform. Okay. Well, listen. We have got to finish this. Please, we got to finish this. I'm gonna let you go. It's Dave Hollister with the Movement Magazine. They're telling us we can keep going.
Oh.
Okay. So now.
And we're back.
And we're back. It's the Movement Magazine with Dave Hollister and BKS1 Radio. Listen, if you want to learn more about Dave Hollister, log on to www.themovementmagazine.net and bks1radio.com. He will be coming into the studio.
Definitely.
It is official.
Definitely.
And we're going to go right back into this interview. He has so much to say. God has done a tremendous work in his life. If you want to really know if Jesus is real, here it is right here.
Man.
So let's talk about, so now you're making a transition. The message is clear. You know you're called by God. You know you're chosen. You know you're set apart. So now you are kind of like in between two worlds, easing your way into the new chapter, but you know you got to go back into Egypt.
Yeah.
So talk about that process.
It's a hard process for me because it's something that I don't really want to do. But neither did I want to become a pastor either. I never wanted that mantle. But
what person in their right mind really wants to be a pastor?
Father, forgive me, for I know not what I have done. but I know that I have to do it. It's some people's lives depend on me coming back, and
if you don't,
it's on my hands. It's going to be on my hands, and I pray God every day, God, just give me the strength to do it, because it's hard when you coming from stuff that we doing, this United Tenors thing with Fred Hammond, and we worshiping, and it's just right going back to the foolishness. You know what I'm saying? But I just gotta,
But it's like what God has done with you is like, even though He has made you hate what you used to love.
I thought I was supposed to be preaching. Girl, yeah. You own it. I can't even say none of that, cause she real. And that's really true.
So now you're working with Fred Hammond on the UT project. Tell us about how that came about, because I know when you got the phone call, you just dropped the phone.
Let me tell you something. Fred and I have been friends for over 20 years, and always been a Commission fan. I think we all grew up on, like, man, listen, when they came out, they made it cool to be saved.
Yeah, they did.
You know what I mean? Of course, the Winans were what they were, but you know what I'm saying?
Commission was on another level.
Commission came, we was like, yeah, we in now.
Right,
We in, and
yeah.
we all, everybody in Chicago, all the male groups from out the churches, till I die. Born and raised.
It's the Movement Magazine.
Born and raised. You understand what I'm saying? 7725 South Hamilton.
Oh yeah, you deep shot.
Huh? Yeah. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play. Born in St. Luke Presbyterian Hospital on the west side. So don't.
Yeah, you deep.
Don't do it. So we was when he came to me, and because like I said, we always did plays together and stuff like that. But when Fred Hammond calls you and says, "I want you to sing alongside of me in a group," something totally different. I became instant fan again.
But you know what? It's like now when I reviewed the UT project, because Fred is my people's. Commission is like that foundational staple.
Yeah.
But UT, y'all the frosting on the cake.
That's a blessing.
And my personal belief, I'm not trying to prophesy and be deep or nothing like that.
Receive it as though.
But I just believe that it's your time. You know what I'm saying? And what better way to present the gift that God has given you through the legend, Fred Hammond.
You see that 6 down there? I might get enough wind to run through it. Run to it and back.
But it's like who else could have done it on this level?
Nobody.
And look at how God is presenting you with the type of music that you love.
Oh man, it's also overwhelming to me. Also overwhelming, and when he asked to do it, it was like Jesus calling you to the Lord's Supper. You know what I'm saying? I know.
So you got the phone call and Fred said, "I want you to sing alongside me. Could you please see if he can get Fred too, Mr. Moore?" And Fred said, "I want you to sing alongside me," and you stopped breathing, your heart stopped. And then when your heart started beating again, you were like, what was the first thought that came through your mind?
Commission. I'm in commission. That was my first thought. I'm in commission. Because when you think of Fred, that's what you think of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he's a legend. That's what I thought. I'm in commission.
Did you feel like God had given you back all what you thought the locusts had eaten away?
I thought at that point in time, okay, y'all didn't receive me when I had my first two, when I did my 2 gospel records. Y'all, they didn't receive me. Now I feel God has found a way, not found a way, but God has made it possible to validate me in the gospel industry.
But the first 2 gospel records, I don't think it was about you being received. I believe the first 2 gospel records was about God growing you down to grow you up.
Why am I even doing this? Because she is so preaching to me. Come on, Pastor.
No.
Come on, talk.
No, I'm not trying to be a pastor.
Yes, Lord, I received that.
So now here you are presented to the world.
Yeah.
And Fred Hammond is presenting you, and it's another level, it's a new dimension, it's a new you, it's a better you, the best version of Dave Hollister.
Man, we all, just the group as a whole, we all needed each other. And it was at a time Fred needed us. I mean, because it's a real brotherhood, you know.
And you can see it even on the photo.
God, oh my God, it's like we all needed this. It's not fake. It's not, you know, it's not. We were put together, but I'm telling you, God ordained this thing, because when me and Fred started it moved from so many different people. Me and him have always been the staple, but before Brian and Eric came, we had other people. Wow. And it never worked out. Wow. Never worked out. So now, you know, it's what it's supposed to be.
So talk to us about the church. You're out. You guys are out on tour with the UT, so that's growing. God is establishing you with that. So now talk to us about the church. God has called you to pastor.
Yes, Word Assembly, a family of churches in Antioch, California. We have 5 locations. Our overseer is Bishop Keith Clark. And the guys understand, and the label understand, that I cannot miss Sundays. My bishop is allowing me to miss tomorrow. Tomorrow, because it's...